Probably one of the most important inventions to ever been invented. How often do you think about riding your bicycle to school, or maybe even walking to work? Probably very rarely. You could drive your car when it's hot and you could be cool, and then when it's cold outside, you can be warm. Why would you think about walking or riding your bicycle to school? But when you drive your car, do you think about how dangerous it really is? Think about the chances of you being in a car accident. Before you head to work or school or wherever you're going, do you take that 5 seconds out of your day to put on your seatbelt? By putting on your seatbelt, you could prevent death to your friends or even to yourself. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the dangers of driving a car. But most importantly, with driving the car, talking about seatbelts. First, we're going to talk about how accidents happen, and then when and where they happen, and some statistics on seatbelts. But first, how do accidents happen? One of the most common, and probably everybody knows about accidents, is texting or calling. How often are you driving somewhere and you get a text message? Maybe a Snapchat, probably even a phone call. And it could be an important phone call. Maybe it could be from your boss. Maybe it could be from your mom. Maybe it could be from anybody. And how often are you going to miss that phone call? You don't want to miss it. It could be important. Anything could be happening. In that split second that you look down at your phone to see who it is and answer the phone call, you could be risking your life. You could be getting in an accident at any point in time. Another is eating. How often do you drive down the road, in town maybe, and you look and you see billboards with food on them, you see fast food restaurants displaying all this food and everything, and you see Burger King. How often do you think to stop and get something to eat? The time that you stop and get something to eat, and you're still on your way to work maybe in the morning, you're getting some breakfast, you're not going to have time when you get there to eat it, so you better eat it while you're driving. And how distracting do you think that is? You're sitting there shoving the food in your mouth, not paying as much attention to the road as you should. That could be causing an accident. Another is friends. How often do you go driving with your friends and they're sitting there kicking your seat, poking you, bothering you to make a good laugh in the car, to get a good joke? How often are they just talking to you, distracting you? Look at that out the window. Look what they just sent me on my phone. How often does that happen? Another is music. You can go driving down the road, listening to your song. Good song, right? Next one comes on, it's not a good one anymore. Probably going to want to change it. You're going to reach down and change the radio station. After you change it, you could be causing an accident. You're looking down to change the radio station. You're not paying attention to the road anymore. Probably worst of all is drunk driving. One, little attention, and two, you already don't really know what's going on. Drunk driving is probably the worst and cause accidents very easily. But when and where do they happen? Most commonly in rural areas. Most people, they don't use their seatbelts in rural areas because of the little population, not nearly as many people as in such like an urban area as in a city. People tend to believe that they don't need to wear their seatbelts because there's less people there. In neighborhoods, accidents happen quite often. In neighborhoods you don't have your seatbelt because maybe you're just driving down to a friend's house. Maybe it's just a short distance, so you don't wear it. It's quite often in the neighborhoods that people do not wear their seatbelts, and it's also very common for accidents. It's one of the most common places, just right outside your home. Another is parking lots. A parking lot is so common for accidents. Anybody could be backing out while you're going forward. You could hit them. If you're not wearing a seatbelt, it could cause serious injuries to you. Even at little speeds, anything could happen. Another is daily commute. You could be driving to work, you could be driving to school, something that you do every day. It could cause an accident. You could be in an accident from any of the causes that I read before this. And some statistics on seatbelts. In 2009, more than 2.3 million adults were hospitalized for serious injuries because they did not wear their seatbelts. In 2008, 64% of passengers killed were not using their seatbelts. And the most common reason for not using your seatbelt is because it was a short distance. Today, I really hope that it helped you realize how important wearing a seatbelt is and how vital it is to you or even your friends in the car. It could change their world or even your world to not wear a seatbelt. Make sure you wear your seatbelt.